Today we're going to talk about the sound of as in the word good. Good. Can you think of a word that rhymes with good? I'll give you a second to see if you can think of a word. I can think of a couple of words, and one of them is this word. What is that word? You're right, hood. I just changed the G to an H. Instead of good, we have the word hood. They're rhyming words, aren't they? What sound do you hear in the middle of good and hood? You're right, you hear the sound. That O is making the sound, isn't it? Another word I can think of that rhymes with good and hood is wood. Okay, once again, I just changed the beginning sound, but the O says what sound? Good, hood, wood. They all say Now, wood, of course, is wood from a tree. If I were going to use that in a sentence, I could say, we gathered wood for the fire. Wood. Now, there is another word that sounds just like this word in the English language, and it looks like this. Have you seen that word before? I know you have. This time, the W stayed the same, but I changed the vowels in the middle, didn't I? Instead of O, now we have OU. And look, we also have an L. Now, if you were going to try to sound out this word and you didn't know what sound it made already, you might try to sound it out like this. Owled, wowled, okay? That would not be correct, would it? All right, so this is one of those words where we have to know what that O-U-L says in the middle of this word. And what it says is O-U says Do you hear the L? No, you do not. The L is silent. And so it is wood. It sounds just like this would. But does it mean the same thing? No, it does not. They have different meanings. Okay, so this is the wood from a tree. Well, what is this wood? This wood is a type of action word. And let me explain to you what I mean. Let's pretend that you and I are having a conversation. And I say to you, would you help me carry that box? And you say, yes, I would be happy to. That is W-O-U-L-D, would. Would you help me? Okay, now there are two other words in the English language that look just like this one, except we're going to change the first consonant. And one of them is this one, and I know you've seen this as well. You probably already know what that says. What is that word? You're right, it's could. Could. Well, what's the difference between the two? Would and could. Well, okay, let's pretend we're having a conversation again. And this time I say, could you help me carry that box? And you say, yes, I could. Okay? Well, what's the difference between would and could? It's only a slight difference, but there is a difference. If I ask you, would you help me carry that box? What I'm asking you is, are you willing? Are you willing to help me carry this box? Would you? But if I ask you, could you help me carry this box? I'm asking you, are you able? Do you have the ability to help me carry this box? Could you? So they sound very similar, but we can use them in slightly different ways. And there's one more word that has this O-U-L sound in the middle of the word, and that is should. So we have the digraph sh at the beginning, And then the O-U-L-D, should. Okay, so you may be thinking, okay, well, I understand would and could, but why do we use the word should? Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to ask you a question. Should you help me carry that box? And you might respond, yes, I should. What do you think I'm asking in this sentence? Well, should means it's something which ought to be done. Should you do your homework? Yes, you should. It ought to be done. And that is how we use the word should. So in all of these words, would, could, and should, we have OU saying and the L is silent. So when you come across these words, now, if you didn't know how to sound them out before, I hope now you will recognize how to sound them out. But also, maybe you can be thinking about, okay, when you see that in a sentence, what is this sentence saying? Is it asking someone if they're willing to do something, or if they're able to do something, or if they ought to do something?